Retrospect is a funny thing. So often we take for granted the things that we have because, hey, they've always been here. So of course that means they'll always be here, right? On July 11th, 2015, myself, Matthew, Antonio, Chris, Imran, and Brian all got together and recorded the episode of the Platinum Achievement Podcast, to which you are about to listen. 6 hours after we had finished recording for the day, it was announced that Satoru Iwata, the CEO of Nintendo at the time, had passed away. We talk about Nintendo this episode probably to greater detail than we had previously in our show. But, you know, it's July 30th, 2015 when we're releasing it, and from our end, we had not had the chance to sort of address the gigantic shoes that are left to be filled in the video game industry. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there's plenty of ways to find out just how important Iwata was to video games. And frankly, all five of us here, you know, our sincerest condolences to Iwata's family. We are going to miss that lovable little guy. So he made a massive amount of contributions to games as a whole. He shepherded Nintendo from a floundering GameCube into the most successful console to date, which was the Wii, and right back into a difficult situation with the Wii U. But, you know, for his contributions to Earthbound, Pokemon, the man brought us Kirby. You know, Satoru Iwata, arigato, and rest in peace. Let's get this banana boat on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Platinum Achievement Podcast, where each week we invite you to join a group of fun-loving gamers from around the world for the most action-packed podcast of all time. Welcome to the party. What's up, everybody? This is the Platinum Achievement Podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners. We are now on iTunes. We are trying to figure out how to track how many subscribers we actually have. It's very confusing. Imran, do you have any type of update on that?
The number of subscribers. Basically, we've got some feed, some statistics, some information. I don't know how it works. So if anybody can give me some tips and pointers about what reach means, and I don't know, it just makes no sense. But give you an example. One day there's like a huge number, and the next day it just drops down to, and then I do like a 30-day stretch of the statistics, and it's just like a low number instead. I do not get it. I don't know.
A lot of our friends have podcasts, so if you guys want to reach out to us, we'll probably reach out to you. Imran, yes, didn't you just say that you have a degree in robotics or something like that?
Artificial intelligence and robotics.
He has a degree in AI and robotics, and he can't figure out our feed burner statistics, so somebody please help us. This is the Platinum Achievement Podcast. We do this podcast for you. It's all about you guys, and we really appreciate every comment, every subscription onto our YouTube, every listen. A lot of you people are telling your friends, and we actually really appreciate it. Andrew DeCruz, I want to give a special shout out to you, my friend. He is a native of Chicago who is now in Florida. He came into town the other day, and he was just telling me that he is actually listening to us. Also, a friend of mine, Eric Nahorniak, he also said that he listens. And I was like, oh, did you hear I started a podcast? He's like, yeah, I'm a listener. So, you know, you never know who's actually picking up on everything that we're doing. So I'm really glad that I was able to hang out with you guys. Eric has this really cool chillness about him. He's just really laid back, and something I really respect about him. He wants me to say on air, I want my Galahorn. He tells me it's a Destiny thing. Him and his fiance play Destiny. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what the Galahorn is in Destiny? I think it's a rocket or something, he said. I don't play.
I don't know. I play Destiny. I have no idea what that is, though.
He said it's something like a rocket launcher or something. Anyway,
it sounds familiar.
And then Andy, he says he wants me to say that I love PS4, but I mean I don't. But he wants me to say that. I mean, I try not to hate on it or anything, but I'm an Xbox guy. So shout out to you guys. They are both engaged to be married. So shout out to you guys and your fiancés. One other shout out before I introduce my co-host here, Mark Hartman. Mark, I actually went to grade school with, and very cool guy. I remember him being like super chill as well, and he actually lives and works in the area around here near my new place. So shout out to Mark. Thank you very much for listening, sir. Without further ado, I want to introduce my fellow co-hosts, the people who make it all happen, and I want to start with Lord Haji. Why don't you say hello to the pod people?
Hello, people. Greetings from Lord Haji. Just looking forward to this episode. I'll tell you what I've been doing during the week. Not much really. It's been my 7-year anniversary. So
congratulations.
So didn't really do anything. I took a week off and chilled, so it's alright. But yeah, other than that, just played a bit of Batman, and that's all really. A bit of Rocket League. We'll talk about that hopefully later.
Awesome.
Good for you, man.
Oh, Rocket League. Somebody make a note of that we do have to talk about that. So, Imran, we've gotten some fan feedback that people want you to talk more. He seems to love listening, but Imran, people love your sexy voice, so please keep it up. We need those opinions from you. Chris, why don't you say hello to the pod people?
Hello. So I want to talk about Paul Linga. I contacted him yesterday. He said, I want to be on the show. I said, okay, be on this time, and we're waiting for you. And he messaged me back, sorry, I got drunk and I got lucky, whatever, and I can't
That's
make it.
That's a great excuse.
But yes, I said, like, you have responsibilities.
It's
I said,
Friday
I'm
night,
not-
though. You can't expect too much from people.
That's our
So,
number one barrier
I
of
have
getting
a
people
beef
on the
with
show.
Paul right now. Anyways.
Paul, we want you on, so maybe next time.
We forgive you.
Yeah, you pulled a
I
Brian
don't.
and slept
I don't
in, so don't
forgive
worry
him.
about it.
I have to
don't-
forgive you.
The
I
best.
don't,
By default.
I don't
Brian,
forgive.
Brian, say hello to the pod people, Brian.
Me, what's going on? We're very organized today. It's very exciting. Didn't take us 3 hours to start.
It took us 2.5. Yeah, everything's good. We're getting the ball rolling today. And finally, Matthew. What's up, Matt? What are you drinking, Matt?
After that 2.5-hour warm-up session, I needed a drink. I'm actually drinking something that Jesse White and Rob Rinaldi have talked to me about a lot. It's called Stone Ruination. It's a double IPA. It's actually their second iteration of it. I don't think I ever had the first. Very strong, very good, and very nice kick to the taste buds in a very good way.
Explain
Thank you,
this.
gentlemen. Thank you for the gentleman for the
Matt?
recommendation. Yes, Chris.
What do you say? It's second what?
It's the second iteration of it. It's called
Ex-
Ruination.
explain that to me.
2.0.
What does it mean? Second irritation. Whatever.
Well,
Second version.
You're not old enough to remember New Coke, so I don't know if that analogy really works. But my guess is Stone Brewing Company had a recipe for Ruination for a while that they decided to change up a little bit, and so they released it as 2.0 instead of just keeping the straight Ruination label in order to not fool their fans.
So
Because
is it-
beer snobs be beer snobs, and I don't know if their anger equates to the same kind of internet trollery we see in the video game space, but definitely they were just probably trying to operate with some transparency.
Cheers, Matt.
So is it better?
I actually don't remember having a Ruination the first time around, so I don't know. I've seen discussions that people, like I know Jesse White and Rob Rinaldi both independently had blind taste tests of 1 and 2. Jesse picked 2 as being the better one. Rob picked 1 in a blind taste test. So decision is split. I don't know of anybody else that's done that. I've listened to other podcasts with beer people that say 2.0 is better, but again, having not had the first one, I can't comment.
You guys get pretty deep into this. That's interesting.
It's a pretty deep subject.
And moving on. So
That's a great place to cut it.
just as an update, everybody, we have been updating our logo, our Facebook pages. We are on iTunes again, so go ahead and search us, the Platinum Achievement Podcast, and subscribe to us on iTunes. And then we still are on YouTube, releasing there. Again, search the Platinum Achievement Podcast. Same thing for the Facebook. You can go ahead and join our page. We have a page in a group right now. We're working all that out to make sure that we're putting all of our effort into one or the other. So just to be really real with you guys, we are making a lot of progress behind the scenes and making the show better, and it all revolves around you. So again, Paul or whoever wants to be on the show, literally, if you ever wanted to try out podcasting, this is your opportunity. We want your feedback, and any fan email would be great. You can, we're changing the email as well. So lots of updates. I'm not going to plug anything until I know what to plug next week.
Long story short, all you have to do is ask, right?
Yeah, all you have to do is ask and beyond. This is all.
We want their voices.
Yeah, be heard, man. I mean, if you're passionate about video games, please be on the show and be part of it. We want to thank everybody who takes the time to write into the show. We get lots of fan mail, and we do have some show topics to share with you guys. Mohammed Azim Akbar asks, are you guys excited for No Man's Sky? Brian Cluwell says, thoughts on No Man's Sky hitting before 2016? Question mark. Also, should you be hated for not being excited about Fallout 4? Really quick on Fallout 4. If you're not excited for Fallout 4, that's your thing. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be. You probably didn't play, 3, so, whatever. But lots of our co-hosts are very excited about No Man's Sky, and I'm going to let them convince me about why my opinion is wrong, while I'm not over the moon about it. Over the moon. See what I did there? I get it. Anyway.
Great job.
So who wants to take the lead on No Man's Sky? Who's the biggest ambassador?
Oh, wait, I just got your joke. That's funny, Antonio.
That's good.
I made it funny. All right, so who wants to do it? Imran, you want to take the lead?
Okay, so No Man's Sky is a game developed by Hello Games. It's a procedurally generated universe where you can, this is my opinion of it, where you can explore, you can discover planets. It's an endless array of just discovering and being just being an explorer, really. It's got a few other things in there, like I've seen, like starship dogfights, but I don't think that's the main crux of it. The main thing is to discover a planet, and you find new animals and new creatures and species, and you then you put your mark on it. So whenever I get a planet, I'm going to get my Lord Haji flag and stick it straight in the middle. I just really can't wait for it. And it's on PC and it's on PS4. So nothing about the Xbox as of yet, but I don't think it's going to ever go into the Xbox. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. It looks like an amazing game. There was a bit in the Sony E3 press conference where I think his name's Sean Murray. He zoomed out and he showed us. So there's all little stars, and he zoomed out and there's like millions and millions of stars, and it's like each of those stars is a planet that you can discover. And I was just like, wow, I was amazed. The coding behind that game is just like it's something else, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I've got a little prediction about it as well, which I'll mention later. I've discussed it with you guys before.
You did mention that there was a gameplay recently released that everybody was clamoring for because it was such a, I think I'll use the word nebulous game, like Matt always says. There was a lot of questions about what you would actually do, what made it an actual game as opposed to like a FPX like experience.
Yes.
The objectives were kind of missing. So everybody's been kind of asking for those for a long time. And then E3 didn't really give us too much more on the game. And then again, the gameplay was just released last week. This is the description of No Man's Sky from their very own website. The description says, No Man's Sky is a game about exploration and survival in an infinite procedurally generated galaxy. And then it also says something interesting here. It says the history. It says No Man's Sky has been in our heads for a very long time. In fact, it has its roots in Sean Murray's experiences growing up on a ranch in the Australian outback. It was the true middle of nowhere, where if something went wrong, you were told to just stay where you were and light a fire and at the exact same time every day and hope that someone would find you. The night sky was filled with more stars than you'd ever seen, and we've all thought that this is exactly where video games would go. Video games that contain the whole universe, and you'd be able to visit it all. No Man's Sky takes that jump, and it's the game we've always wanted to make. I'm not that excited for the game initially, and then even after the gameplay, I thought it was incredibly visionary, incredibly groundbreaking for this reason. I don't think anyone can look at what No Man's Sky is, the scope of it, and not be impressed. I mean, when he does zoom out and goes from walking on the planet to jumping on a ship to zooming out, and then you go from, the star to the larger galaxy, and you see every single unique area. It's been thought about and it's been simulated, but never to this degree. And I gotta just say, I am blown away by that, and I do appreciate that he's bringing this like they mentioned in this history blurb, that desire that we've all had to truly explore on this scale and actually do something with it. Chris, what do you think about the impressions of the game and what you thought about it before, what you think about it now after seeing the actual gameplay, the 18-minute video or the 15-minute video?
Looks really impressive, but I'm always thinking about the whole random generated planet thing. Let's say I went to coordinates y, x, z, and a planet generated over there. Is it gonna be the same planet every time that I go to this coordinate? No.
Oh, when
So
you go
it's-
back.
It will.
Yeah, that planet will
Yes.
exist.
It will be
Yes.
once
That's
it's
your-
discovered.
So there,
Planet. Once you
can
discovered
go
it.
back to it and you can save it or name it or something, I think. Right?
if I then save it and name it, it's gonna change.
No, it stays there. I
That we
think
don't know. I think the minute you land somewhere, that's it.
it's generated and that's it.
So here's what I'm thinking is, so if I went to there, they say there's multiplayer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
so if
I don't
but-
know about that. I don't
No,
know.
they
if
said
it's-
there's multiplayer. He said there's
So
multiplayer.
if I went to my friend's world and I went to
Yes.
this coordinate, is it going to be the same planet or
Yeah, you
different
can-
planet?
Yes, I'm
So-
pretty
That's
sure
gonna
they
be
said
this-
yes.
Here's a way to explain it and make it easy. Minecraft. When you play Minecraft and you go through the world, it's randomly generated as you walk through it, but you can still go back. I'm assuming that it's going to
Okay,
work the
so
exact
when you
same way, where you can go to a planet and if it generates, it's there and you can go back. But if you keep going further and further, more things will generate and more new things that you haven't seen yet.
But once it's generated, it stays fixed.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
it. That's how it
Minecraft.
works.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand it. So if I go to my friend's world, it's gonna be different if I go to this coordinate.
You can visit my utopia.
planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, the way that I
Okay.
heard it explained, which was actually kind of scary to me, was that he's like, okay, you're going to start in a different area of the galaxy than anyone else. So no one's going to from the way he described it was that people were going to spawn their game at a starting point that wasn't right next to you. He said also at a certain point, you may never run into another person. That's what I heard. And maybe I'm wrong, that it's possible to not bump into other people. I mean, and I can see in such a grand scale of game, depending on the number of players, how that would work. But from what I understand, that if you go and discover a planet, it's named after you, this animal's named after you, whatever you end up logging, that other people are seeing that. So I could go, again, to that coordinate, if you want to think about it that way, and I would see your planet, Planet Chris, whatever you named it, and I would be bumping into your territory, your marked planet, and which is cool, but then you start thinking about the scope. I don't know how many players are going to be on this, but if they're all on the same,
Exactly.
if they're on the same server and everybody's claiming 1,000 planets a month or whatever, we're not going to fill up this galaxy. Is that what he's telling us? There's going to be more and more to explore. I mean, isn't there a saturation point, or has he designed it in a way where it's truly that mind blowing? I mean, when you zoom out, I mean, I don't know what math it is, but for what number
I think
he's
there's
claiming.
literally millions and millions of planets.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
Millions
I mean,
and millions
yeah.
of stars.
Well, when he
So-
explained it, he was saying it's just procedure. Everything's procedure generated. So
so you just
even
keep going on.
yeah, so even you can build ships and stuff. So you tag your animals, you discover your animals, and the more rare it is, you get a little bit of money, and you can buy ships and upgrades and things like. Even that's all generated. So everything's different all the time. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
So here's the thing: he's saying different every time, but it's not gonna be different every time.
It won't
Because
be
if you
totally
say
different.
millions,
No, I don't
millions,
think-
millions, sure. It's gonna be okay. You go to this planet; it's deserty planet, sure. But what's gonna be different is okay. Water was here, so now water is another place. So the mountains look a bit different, but it still will feel deserty. So I don't know. I feel like you're gonna go to other planets that you already felt like you already visited.
Well, like real life, not going to be radical changes in the species. And so, like you get like so many different types of ants and so many different types. They look the same, but they're different. I think it's going to be a bit like that, where little colors different. And like, oh, that's a new species of ant that we've discovered, or something like that.
Exactly. If you played Spore, like they did a similar thing. They give you a certain number of options, and then you do the multiplication and figure out, the exponentially growing variations in the end product. So if you have 8,500 colors of this, that's just one variation of what the grass could look like on that planet. And if the grass is like between 1 centimeter and 100 centimeters tall, like that's another one. So it will look different, but how it's all going to be eerily similar underneath after a while. I mean, there's got to be a trick to it. I mean, when you look at these videos, even they do look very different, the planets, but not completely different, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
I think the allure is going to kind of waste off a little bit after a while. Here are the features of the game according to the website. A truly open universe. If you can see it, you can go there. Exploration is seeing things that no one else has ever seen before. Every creature, geological formation, plant, and spaceship is unique. Survive on a dangerous frontier. You're alone and vulnerable. You'll face threats everywhere. We saw some of the Guardian robots. If you tried destroying things, every planet has a police system like GTA where they're going to start chasing you if you wreak havoc. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how much variation you have. I personally don't like fighting generic robots, but that's just me. It says build for an epic journey, collect precious materials and trade them for better spacecraft and upgrades to your suit, which I thought was really cool. You can get a radioactive proof suit, and you can explore planets that someone without a radioactive proof suit would not be able to go to, a la some of the areas in Fallout. That was amazing. A shared universe. Choose to share. A shared universe. Choose to share with other players your discoveries on a map of the galaxy. Strike out for unexplored frontiers or build your own strengths in known space. So that's really interesting. Those are all the features that they list officially. There's still so much ambiguity. There's still so much like open to interpretation there, and it's incredible. I mean, to me, I think they're keeping everything really secret. I mean, maybe there's a whole lot of more depth that they just don't want to talk about. I don't know. What do you think, Brian?
I feel like maybe they just don't know which direction they're actually going to go with the game still. They're probably still deciding like how to exactly put all these pieces into place. I still think that even if the world is procedurally generated, that everything, I can't imagine like getting together with a bunch of people and exploring known space, but will you be able to go out into and explore with other people and find these random places too? Like, will you be able to go with your friends and go find planets? That'd be interesting.
But what's gonna happen afterwards? Let's say, okay, my friend's not online now, I'm playing single player. What's gonna happen? Are we still gonna share the same universe? Is the planet we discovered together is gonna be the same? Then after I discover another planet, is it gonna be the same because we share the universe?
You know what we've learned? We've learned that games suffer when there's lack of clarity in general.
It's unclear. I don't.
And I believe that the public is asking for more. We all agree that we're blown away. I'm not hating on the game. I'm just saying that I look at it and I think that this is in the vein of something like Eve or Star Citizen or different things where it's like, hey, we got a galaxy here. Go explore. Go freedom to do whatever you want. And this.
Yeah, but Eve and Star System are about neither of those things.
Well, hang on one second here.
What?
I just found a interview with Sean
Eve
Murray.
and Star Citizen are about neither of those things.
About exploration?
They're not about exploration.
Isn't it about like Eve is like about an economy?
I don't know
or
about
something
that.
Like that. Crazy.
Star Citizen comes from Wing Commander. Wing Commander is a space dogfighting sim.
If you go to the features of both of those games, there's a feature on there that says, never fight, act as a traitor, like only be a traitor.
Yeah, you know what happens in Eve when you don't fight and act as a traitor and just go exploring? You get jacked for your money.
There are people who only do trading in Eve for a fact. They don't specialize in fighting. They go the passive route. I know it for a fact.
Until they get jacked.
I'm just saying that there are bullet point features of these games that say, hey, this is an open galaxy. Be whoever you want. You can go vigilante, you can go trader, you can go diplomacy. It's a vein. I mean, they're similar. They're galaxies.
But if you're gonna choose the diplomacy route in Eve, trust me, you're gonna come across one of those. I think there are two main corporations that sort of rule Eve Online at the moment.
See, that's awesome.
You're gonna find one of those. You're gonna find one of those corporations, and they are gonna say, "Okay, whose side are you on?"
The East Coast, West Coast of the galaxy.
And if it's not our side, you better be ready to defend yourself.
I understand. Imran, you were meaning to say something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if it was in the recent gameplay video, but where did I hear that there's a center of the universe and you can reach the
you
center?
have to reach the center. Yeah,
That was that IGN thing, and Sean Murray made the great joke about Peter Molyneux being in the center.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. That seemed really interesting. The center of the universe. And I just think of how our universe is endless. Just like that, isn't it? Just endless.
Here's what I understood from the game is while you're trying to reach the center, you have to explore these planets, and while you're exploring, you mine stuff, collect items, whatever, then you sell them and you upgrade yourself, because the more you reach the center, the harder it's gonna get.
That's awesome. See, just be more clear about that fact. But I did hear that same thing as well. And if you tell me that the challenge is going to ramp up in ways that we're not really going to tell you about, I'm on board. But just make that a little bit more clear, because
he was pretty explicit about that when the game was revealed.
Okay. I didn't hear much about it, but that's my own ignorance then. But I am down for whatever you can tell me that will give the game some legs. That's all.
Yes. Well, I'll give you my quick prediction. I spoke about this with Matt off air before. I think I mentioned it to the other guys as well.
I think it was during our VR chat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was off air. So my prediction is that No Man's Sky will release as a Morpheus game as well as just a standalone PS4 game. It'll be a virtual reality game as well, I think. Because the way it looks and the way if that was a Morpheus game, Morpheus would sell so well. Like, if that was a launch title for Morpheus, people would be like, all right, I'm on board. I'm going to explore the world in a virtual reality like setting, and I think that would be amazing. And the way it looks as well, it looks amazing, it looks beautiful, but it's not so graphic heavy as opposed to like some other games. So I think it would fit like the sort of virtual reality space, and the things you do in it, it's not so complicated. So I think it'd work in a virtual reality setting. So you heard it here. It's going to be a virtual VR game. It's going to be a Morpheus launch title, I think. It's coming out at a similar time maybe as well. So
it makes perfect sense to Morpheus to sell if it was compatible with No Man's Sky to really sell a lot, because I don't know, it will feel like you're in a Star Trek movie or something, exploring planets.
I think it'd be great. It'd be great. I think it'd be good. They should do that. Like, they should do it.
If they did that, I will buy Morpheus. I hate VR, but I will buy Morpheus.
Interesting.
It seems like it would be a perfect game for VR too.
To kind of be in there. I mean, I know a lot's going on, but do you think that this is very graphic intensive game?
No, not really.
It
looks beautiful.
There's a lot of processing going on for it to be...
There's no realism in it, but there's vibrant colors.
Yeah, it's an art style.
There's no heavy texture.
It's an art style, yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's that hardware intensive. Even procedural generation, I don't think it's that crazy definitely not even for the PlayStation 4 to handle. So
I just know that when I first saw the trailer for No Man's Sky, it awakened something in me that I had not really felt in... When was that revealed? 2013?
Yeah, a little while ago.
VGX? I just remember looking at that, and I remember playing like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter games on my PC back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember instead of just doing the missions, I would just turn away from wherever I was supposed to go and just go towards space, because that was what I wanted to do. And even though I never actually got anywhere because it was just an endless loop of white dots or stars, as it were, going by you, I always wanted to see, like, eventually I have to hit something just to see if just to see like maybe I'll hit something. And the fact that you can just sort of you're plopped in the middle of space and you just go. That's a beautiful thing to me. And I don't care how much anybody tells me about what No Man's Sky is or isn't. My first day with that game is going to be I'm getting a ship and I'm going. I don't care where I hit.
But they said there is fuel in it, so you cannot go infinite.
No infinite fuel. I don't know.
Luckily, space is a vacuum, so the minute I run out of fuel, I'll just make sure I'm going top speed, so I will barrel to the nearest gravitational pull and be dropped into wherever I crash.
And you'll find a planet that has no fuel or something.
And I'll have to repair my ship and maybe start over. But whatever. Like that is such
that would still be cool.
Cool thing to me.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
cool.
I think that we could all come up with a little bit of a tweak on the existing idea of this game and make it like infinitely better. Like if you go more toward the center of the galaxy and there were things that required you to group up into like in the little teams, like if it required you to go into the planets to shut down some type of thing so that you can proceed, or maybe to get fuel, and like it was guarded by enemies that you had to take out in like teams of 2 and then teams of 3 and then teams of 4, and eventually like we figure out that everybody has to like meet up to unlock the center of the galaxy. Like that would be kind of cool. I mean,
someone has to stick a key up Peter Molyneux's nose.
I don't think it'd be like that. I'm just saying it's a
That's
cool
not
idea.
It would be cool though, because I'm looking at an interview right now with Sean Murray with Game Informer from I don't know, a couple months ago or something. And the way he makes it sound is that there is not going to be a real focus on multiplayer. He says when there are people in the same world as you, they're going to be a long way away, and you won't really... even if someone drives past you in a ship, they... At the time, this is a couple months old, maybe they changed their mind, they said that their username won't even pop up or anything. You won't even know that someone drove past you necessarily, unless you like actually see them.
I actually don't like that.
You know what's going to be interesting?
I think that's great, and I think
that's
you
great.
can probably I think that's good. I want to go on my own. I don't.
I mean, it's kind of like Journey, where you could hide from whoever was in your world and they wouldn't know you're there. I mean, that was kind of an interesting thing. Like a lot of the times you choose to walk with them and just say, okay, how do we figure this out through the series of bleeps and bloops that you had to communicate with them. But there was one time where I was playing through Journey a second time and I just hid behind a rock and I literally watched people just walk by, not even knowing I was there. And I'm like, this were another game, I could just kill them and they would probably send me a message for being a camper or something. But instead, we are just two ships passing in the night. And
yeah, and they're trying to go for that feeling too, where it's like if you see another person, it's like, oh my god, another person. That's amazing. And like right here in the interview, it says it'll be really surreal to see another person walking around on a planet, and that they're going for this feeling like if you've seen Lost, the show, where Jack sees his dad and he's like, is he there or is he not? And like, is that really happening? Is there really a person there?
That is cool.
Because you'll be that surprised because the universe or the galaxy is really that big.
If they can keep...
You know what will be interesting? If the PC community will start making mods and they simulate Star Wars.
That would be amazing. What? No.
Are they going to allow mods on this game?
But no one allows mods.
PC. Well,
just
I
do
think
it.
they can.
It's PC. It doesn't.
They just do it.
Mod.
Yeah. So they they simulate the Death Star scene where you have a couple of friends and trying to blow up Death Star. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but there will be some dickhead that simulates the Death Star and just starts blowing up planets while people are on.
So yeah, it's a console exclusive for a little bit of time, and then it goes on PC. Apparently, that's what I've heard.
Well, nobody knows 100% for sure, but
because I thought it was a PS4 exclusive outright, and then I told my friend, he's like, "No, it's on PC." No, and I was like, "No, it's not. It's on PS4 only." Then he showed me all this things. I was like, "All right, fine, you win."
I'm gonna put a question to all of you. What would ruin this game for you? Let's hypothesize that we're all ready to get this game day one.
Nope.
What happens day one to make you never want to play the game again?
There's microtransactions in the game.
Microtransactions, yes.
Yep.
Nothing's
Yes.
happening. I keep finding stuff, move on, find stuff, move on.
If there's no point to the supplies and stuff you get, yeah, that would probably be a really...
Well, how many days do you expect me to take to get to the center of the universe? Because I'm not going to play your game for more than 30
I
times.
need No Man's Sky to keep providing a level of mystery. And if it's the same, like I say, if it's the same thing again and again, I'll get really upset with it.
I'll tell you what's going to ruin that game for me. The minute I boot it up and there's someone else on my planet and it's some 11-year-old thinking he's in Call of Duty, just spewing racist hate at me, I will literally eject that game and never play it again.
But
Well,
said
they
you
can't
could
do much
choose,
about
can't you?
that. It's not their fault.
But what Brian said really, I'm scared right now because the game is exploration. If there's an option, quote unquote, to buy, let's say, mats, and so you can build a ship, that will ruin the game. And then please don't give me this BS reason, say, not everybody has time to play the game, so it's an option to buy it. BS, okay? Yeah,
Talk
if
more
some rich
in that
guy-
voice, please.
Only
some-
talking the voice for the rest of the show now. That's your only
Rest of-
voice.
If
Rest of your
some
life.
rich kid has a lot of money, he can buy all the microtransaction thingies and he will be better than me because he's richer. No, that is
I don't think that's
BS.
Hello Games' MO, though. I don't think.
Yeah, I
think
don't think
that'll
they'll do
happen.
that. I really don't.
yeah. But if they
I
did
have no reason to believe
microtransaction,
that.
I'm not gonna buy the game at
But
all.
if you do ask me, what could be the worst thing, that probably would be it. But I don't think they're doing that, so it's good.
So, yeah, maybe Sony will pull their hands, say, put
No way.
microtransaction. We need to milk our consumers.
They really haven't done that, though, have they?
I don't know.
No, not really.
Because a lot
EA
of
do
people
it.
are doing that, so
I know.
I'm scared.
I know if EA were publishing this, there'd be microtransactions
Yeah,
all
it
over the
happens.
place.
Straight up.
Like, congratulations, No Man's Sky Ultimate Team. You can get Luke Skywalker, Captain Picard, Han Solo, and one of the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica to just sort of man your ship as you explore the galaxy.
All right, really quick. What's at the center of the universe? Prediction, Matt?
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, well, that's not even predicting. That's actually there.
Brian, what do you think?
I have a feeling maybe you get to the center and you teleport all the way back out to the end again.
I would cry.
It's like that episode of Futurama where they have the time machine that only goes forward in time and they just keep going until the universe ends and then it just
And it
restarts
restarts
again.
and they get
You get New Universe Plus.
It's going to be a big number 42 there.
Yeah! Thank you, Imran.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you for that.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. Go read it.
That's it.
It's so mysterious.
It's so
like,
mysterious. It's
Because-
why the game's still a thing. I'll tell you that right now.
yeah, because it's like the show. And nobody watch anime except me. It's like the show One Piece. It's like the whole goal is to get this treasure called One Piece. What is it? Nobody knows. But I really want to know what is it. I feel like No Man's Sky is the same. It's like there's some kind of treasure you're gonna find. You're gonna be the warlord of all universe.
Mewtwo's there.
The thing about it is that they give you a couple hints. They say that once you get there, it's gonna make you want to keep playing. I think that's what he said.
That's because you're
something
going to
like
be
that.
out at the outer rim again, and you're going to have to make your way all the way back to the middle
New
again.
Game Plus.
It'd be cool if you got to the center, you could change one element of the entire galaxy. Like, okay,
Change, like, the physics or something?
You just
That would be
won the ability to change the color of the grass right now to, blue on every single planet. And boom, you go there and you get to change one thing, and someone else gets there and they get to change something else. I mean, he says like to affect everything. I think that would be pretty cool.
But would it be only on your universe? It would be kind of whatever.
like,
if
again,
it affects other people's universe, it'd be like every planet they go Chris planet and slash their name. That would be awesome.
It's one galaxy and everybody's in it, and you may not see people, and even if you do, then there won't be a username on there. It's all I'm super skeptical. I don't know.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
I'm just gonna say it because we have a man in our midst who is pure awesome. The
No,
center
thank
of the
you.
universe is a planet shaped like Chris's head.
Yep. Chris's face is the center of everything.
Yes, it is.
And then the minute you get there, he's like, stupid! And then it just reboots. Antonio, I'm sorry to interrupt again.
No,
I just wanted
you.
to say a quick piece regarding our last episode. We spoke about party games. Right after we recorded, probably about 4 hours after we recorded, I actually downloaded the Jackbox Party Pack on PS4. That set of games, it's 5 games for $25. It's really good local co-op. I don't know if you can do online co-op. Or actually, they're all party games, so it's more of local competitive, and I don't know if you can do online competitive.
What kind
Very
of party
fun.
games? Like,
There's You Don't Know Jack, which is trivia. There is Drawful, which is kind of like win, lose, or draw, but not quite. Fibbage is probably one of the best games to play with several drunken people. As is Lice Water. And all of them take at least... It's either the lowest you can have is 2 people or 3. There's one game that requires 3. And there's one game that you can have up to 100 people playing at the same time. You don't have to have controllers. You use your smartphone, and it's basically the future. Real fun. You should try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a go, definitely.
Yeah.
Love me
That's
some
on
party.
I feel
PlayStation
obliged
or
to
what?
download
It's on PlayStation 4. It's on Xbox One. It's on Steam. I think it's actually on PS3. Don't think it's on Vita or 360 though, or Wii U.
Well, nothing's on Wii U
Nothing
now.
is on Wii U.
I'm not gonna, you guys do this to me every week, and I'm not gonna take the bait. I'm not doing it. I love my Wii U, but I am not gonna argue like an idiot with you guys.
I have a Wii U, okay? It's dead.
I've got Wii. It's good.
Actually, Nintendo just canceled a game. What was it called? The Ninja one.
Yeah, they canceled the game and they had an exclusive game, which is an exclusive now. Wow.
What did they? Man, I'm looking it up right now so I can throw it in your little face. What is it?
Zombie Wii U is not exclusive
No,
anymore.
not the
Yeah.
Zombie Wii U. It was something else. Oh, no, I gotta look it up.
While we wait for you, I actually just played Splatoon recently.
Oh, how was that?
You're not gonna like my reaction now because I didn't like
Oh,
it
you're
that
wrong.
I've not played it yet. I need to play it.
Oh, it's so fun.
It was a little weird. Maybe I just need to play it more. But when I first played it, it kind of felt strange. Like it was trying to be a shooter, but it didn't really feel like a shooter, like a regular shooter. It
Because
is kind of
it's not
cool
a
though how you
regular
I've
move
not
shooter.
around.
looked into it at all. Is it a bit like the Blob? So yeah, like the Blob.
Yes, actually, it is a
You have
little
to
bit like the
paint
Blob.
everything to win.
Because on
least that's what I
Splatoon, the main objective is not to kill people. It's to coat the environment to your paint as much as you can. Because
Yeah, you need
that's
to
why maybe it feels weird because
paint
it's
the world
a shooter,
the colors
but it's
that
not
you
shooter.
like.
But see, that's also one of the reasons why I still like Nintendo, because they still do weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just have to bear with them. They're going to find something weird that you're going to end up loving.
Well, I know I've
No,
heard
it's good.
rumors
I like
about the
Splatoon.
next
It's good.
Nintendo console, right? Nintendo NX.
Yeah.
Might be announced next year. I don't know if there's really any substance to that rumor, but be interesting to see what their next step would be.
There was
They're
some
gonna
sort of
announce
leaked.
Annex. They
you-
have to.
yeah.
They have to make money.
Did you see the leaked sort of screenshots? There leaked. Like
I
know
don't.
what
I
it
don't
was.
believe that's true.
Yeah, did you see? It's weird. It's a weird conference, and they showed this. The controller does this, and it does this.
I
Oh,
think
They look
it's
impressive.
fake. It's fake.
it's fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
It says here, according to Unseen 64's Liam Robertson, Nintendo of America has decided not to publish Devil's Third due to concerns over the game's quality. Devil's Third may no longer be coming to North America by way of Nintendo, if a recent report proves to be true. Recently updated, it says here, Valhalla Game Studios founder Tamanobu Agati, I don't know how to pronounce Japanese names, has commented on the rumor posting the following on Facebook. Calm down, guys. Which do you believe, me or the site? The world brims over with lies and rumors. Thanks always, mates. So, may still be coming. I don't know, but that's another Nintendo game that just hit the fan, supposedly. We'll see. Anyway, Nintendo Wii U, you can buy one right now for $149.99 at your local game retailer. Is that right?
Hey,
That's a lie.
How much is it?
I think it's still $250.
I would pay $99
Whoa.
for it, no more.
I would pay $100 for it too.
Yeah. Price drop. They should be giving them away. Man, why am I hating on it so much? I think I know because it's hurting you inside, man.
Why do people not like the
good.
Wii U? I don't get it.
Here's the thing,
like
because
Nintendo.
Most of the people who
controller's
don't like
stupid.
the Wii, most people who don't like the Wii U haven't played it.
I've
played
played it before, and it just
I'm not.
seems like
I'm not talking about you specifically. I said most people.
It's like most people are...
Here's the thing about the Wii U. It's that because you don't feel that you're getting the value out of it. Right now, I'm sitting here. I'm looking at my PS4 library. I have about 50 games, and on the Wii U, I got 12, and I had Wii U since launch. No, because it doesn't have games. It doesn't.
Well, you only buy the exclusives on there, only.
console full of games.
I
Yeah.
don't want to play old games. If I wanted to play old games, I would have stayed with my Wii. I don't want to
Congratulations.
so
play.
good
Then
for
you can
first-party games.
I want to play Wii U games. I want to play more Mario 3D Land. I want to play more games like Monster Hunter 3. Monster Hunter 4 then came out on the Wii U. What is this? And I want to play more Donkey Kong, more Metroid. But there's nothing.
Well, then all you had to say is it doesn't have any new games.
Wait, is The Legend of Zelda going to be moved to the NX similar to how they did
GameCube.
before?
no, I
and,
can't imagine they do that.
I don't think
They
so.
might.
It's
They
gonna be
might.
like.
I mean, we can speculate this. I think if
We don't
there's
even know
going
if
to
the
be any,
NX is going to be really
if
coming
there's-
out.
if there's going to be any title that has the biggest possibility to do so, it is probably The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. They might do the whole Twilight Princess GameCube thing, but that game has to be a lot better than Skyward Sword was.
Skyward Sword is not bad game, but the problem was the motion controls. It did not work 100% all the time because you had to do the light, when you hold the sword upwards and you do this light attack. I forgot what it's called. Master Sword attack.
Don't get me wrong.
Anyways,
I'm not saying.
If it takes all. I have to try it. Oh, it's not working now. Lift my hand up, down, up, and down. Oh, it's working right now. Stay still, squares. Oh, now I can shoot. It's not 100% accurate. Please, if they can make Skyward Sword without the motion control, I will love that game. I will love it to the death. Maybe it will be my favorite Zelda game.
Well, see, I didn't say Skyward Sword was a bad game. I just think they need to do better. I don't think it was as good as so many people reviewed it, because I think it got a lot of 10s, a lot of top marks around the internet. But I don't think it. As a longtime Zelda fan, I was not impressed.
According to the newshub.com, The Legend of Zelda Wii U has been in development for a long time and was delayed indefinitely a few months ago. Many have speculated that may end up being a launch title for the Nintendo Wii U's replacement system. While that would disappoint Wii U owners, it would be an understandable move. It would make sense for Nintendo to focus on giving the NX, supposedly that's the name of the new home console, the strongest launch possible. If that means passing over the Wii U with Zelda, as with a new Mario or Metroid title, so be it. Matt, in your opinion, what's going to happen here? I know it's all speculation at this point, but if you had to put some money down, do you think that all these games are going to be moved to the NX and Wii U is dead? Tell me.
I think the Wii U is dead, but not because they're going to move games. I think it's dead for a completely slew of different reasons. One, the hardware around it is still behind. John Q Gamer out there, if they're gonna say, oh, the Wii U is more powerful than a PS3, but they also have the option for a PS4 and an Xbox One. I'm sorry, you've just brought a knife to a gunfight. That's just doesn't make sense. Just congratulations, you are more powerful than outdated tech.
Chris, what do you think? What's going to happen here? Just a prediction.
Matt said it's not as good as PS4. NX should be even better than PS4 because the consoles PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not kidding. I'm not gonna lie. They are not really that powerful consoles because
I was talking about the Wii U though. I wasn't talking about the NX.
I know. The PS4 and the Xbox One, they are struggling to get to 60 frames and 1080p native. NX should be at least as good as PS4 or even better. Because there was rumors that it's not going to be as good, as powerful as the PS4, which I think it's going to flop like the Wii U again if they go to that direction. Wii U's dead.
So
Honestly, I don't think they need to go into the direction where they need to become the most powerful console. It probably should rival them a little bit, like PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, but it doesn't need to be this incredibly powerful console. As long as they have good games, people will buy it.
I think people are done trusting Nintendo in that way.
They need support for third-party developers.
Well, I'm hoping that if they do release a new console, that they have a new unique feature that is a little more groundbreaking than the Wii U, where they had the
second screen,
external screen. Yeah, where with the Wii they brought in motion controls, and that was a huge deal. Kind of, it was a different way to play video games now. And having the second screen, I didn't really feel like it was that. It didn't change things that much because you still kind of looked at the TV, and occasionally you might look down, but it didn't change like how you play video games,
But nobody liked that. Nobody liked the motion controls. Like, oh, Wii Sports looks really awesome.
What are you talking about? Nobody liked it. What are you talking about?
Nintendo Wii was absolutely amazing.
It's like the Kinect, all right? Everybody saw Kinect. Oh wow, it works so well.
Wow.
So everybody got the Kinect.
The Kinect doesn't work well. Wii does.
It sold so well, but it
Chris, you're
runs
wrong.
really
Chris, you're
bad.
wrong.
It's the same thing with
Chris,
the motion control on the Wii.
Nintendo Wii was a great console.
Isn't the Wii the highest all-time selling console?
Because of the Wii Sports.
I think Wii
because
Sports
of the
is one of the
gimmick.
best-selling
So
games
if
ever.
you're going to tell me that people didn't like the motion controls, there's your counter-argument right there. Everybody bought a Wii for Wii Sports because everybody wanted to play tennis. They wanted to bowl. Sure, it's not as
Other than
fluid and
that.
technically sound as you may have wanted. That game was fun.
Everyone loves Wii Tennis. Come on.
That game
You can't
was
not love
fun.
Wii Tennis.
My best experience of Resident Evil 4
you guys
was
are
on the
naming me
Wii.
one game. I don't buy a console for one game.
Everyone else did.
No,
I did.
but everyone else bought the Wii for one
Everyone else
game.
did, because the Wii Sports was the best-selling game, probably one of the best-selling
Ever.
games of all time now, right?
Ever.
So you want a console to release to sell one good game and
No,
it starts
no,
to
no.
That's
decrease
Nintendo's thing.
and start
Chris,
to
I understand
decrease
what you're
in
saying,
time.
but
Here's the long and short of it, Chris. The actual motion controls worked for Wii. It didn't work amazing, but it worked enough, and people really liked games like Wii Sports. And what happened is they did do some manipulation as far as supply and demand and made it kind of scarce. So they made their system a hot commodity. And, Nintendo's good at marketing in that way. So it did sell quite a bit, the system. But people did like it, and it worked. And I think...
the price point was good as well.
And the price point
Yeah.
was good. And I think going forward, you're not going to... There is still that question, are they going to go gimmicky again with the NX, or are they going to go powerful? Now, in the past, they've spent a few systems already not going as powerful as their competitors.
And
Ever
they'll
since the
lose if they try to go powerful.
Well,
They
the
will.
GameCube, then we got the Wii, then we got the Wii U. They're all trying to be a little more gimmicky, a little more special, a little more outside the box, and they're trying to appeal to casual gamer. Now, are they finally going to do away with that? Are they finally going to, look for that third-party support? Are they going to do away with any gimmicky motion controls? Are they going to, support this in a way that's more modern like the other systems? Or are they going to do it one more time? And I think Matt said before, Nintendo surprises you, and they could have something in their back pocket that no one's thinking about at all. And, they may come out with another, quote unquote gimmicky thing that's not going to be 1080p, 60 frames a second. And I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone can say for sure. I honestly do not see Nintendo waking up and saying, forget the casual gamer. Let's do a 1080p, whatever. I don't think they can do it. I doubt it.
But I feel like that doesn't work anymore because casual gamers are going to mobile.
Which they dominate the market of. I mean, they have handheld locked up.
Because they're going to mobile. It's like why do I have to buy a console? Why casual gamers are gonna buy Nintendo when they have their mobile? It's not gonna work. When the Wii U came out, there wasn't iPhone or whatever. It wasn't this big mobile gaming.
When the Wii came out, by the time the Wii U did, mobile gaming was a deal. It was a bigger
It was a
deal
big thing. That's why it didn't sell.
Yeah, because everyone said, well, I have an iPad that's not tethered to anything.
Nintendo even said the gamepad didn't work because of mobile gaming. They even said that. I don't think NX will work if they focus on casual gamers, because casual gamers, they want mobile now.
I think, Chris, you raise a good point, because Nintendo have got a deal with the mobile gaming industry now, haven't they? They're doing something there. So maybe they're like focusing on... So the NX might be a powerful... I really wish they did that, because to get on top of the gaming industry, they need to do that. I'd love for them to come up with a gimmick which like everyone loves and is amazing, but I don't know, to be on top of the game, they need to do a couple of things. They need to be the most powerful, and they need to have a trophy/achievement system, and release Zelda at
They need to have
launch.
a real
And
online
they'll go
system
mad.
too that works.
Yeah, that's what they need. Proper names.
Yeah,
they need to do that, and if they did those three things, they'd smash it. Like Zelda as a launch title with amazing graphics would just.
You know what's interesting about what you just said is we talked about it one of the episodes previous. Brian, you were saying all their characters are from the 80s, and they all have this particular type of gameplay. A lot of it's like platformy, I mean, they're kind of cutesy. You look at the new Yoshi and Kirby games, you look at the the like things like Wind Waker and things like that. They have this cartoony, colorful thing, and their first party doesn't need like amazing graphics. There's nothing wrong with the games in of themselves, and if you
that's how the characters look. You can't really.
If you push 1080p 60 frames a second, I mean, are they really going to revamp every first-party cutesy character thing to take full advantage of that? I mean, that's kind of a leap. Maybe it doesn't work to see Kirby in 1080p.
It's for third-party developers, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they're bread and butter characters.
When they showed off the Wii U initially, they showed Zelda, some little tech demo of Zelda, and it looked amazing, and everyone was like, whoa. And it never ever happened. Like, what happened to that? Don't know if you guys remember when they first showed the Wii U.
I remember what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what it's about. It's like, wow, Zelda with those graphics, amazing, and they never did anything. They just like.
I don't think Nintendo necessarily needs third-party support. The reason is, let's just say they bring out the NX and they bring out a steady stream of first-party games that are developed internally. Instead of getting 2 to 5 titles a year, we're getting 9 to 10. So let's just say they double their game output with that Nintendo consistency. Wii U titles, they've sort of been proven to be among the highest quality and most consistent in the industry. That kind of eliminates the need for third-party support.
The reason I said third-party support... No, you're right. I get you. Yeah,
yes, it does. You want to know why? Because instead of buying one game every 3 months, you're buying one game every month and change. And you're going to spend that month and change playing the game you just bought. And let's be honest, most gamers aren't like me where they try and beat a game or platinum a game or whatever. They play it till they're bored and then they move on. Let's just say you have an NX that has a title come out day one, a slew of titles day one, and then something new coming out every month, something AAA by first-party Nintendo. All of a sudden, third-party support is kind of moot at that point because at least we have one game we can play.
Quality over quantity is what you're saying.
Yes. Matt, let me give you 2 reasons why that won't work. First, are those 10 games going to target me personally? I don't like Donkey Kong. If they release Mario, then Donkey Kong, I don't want to play Donkey Kong. And the second reason is because now Nintendo is going to release their IP on the mobile, casual gamers, they're gonna get their nostalgia feel on the mobile. Why they're gonna buy a Nintendo? Because Nintendo targets casual gamers.
It really depends on Nintendo's mission statement. If they want to be like the number one in the industry, they need a powerful console. If they're happy to be everybody's second console, then what you're saying would be perfect. Like just release that many games a year. I'd love it. It'd be great for me. But if you want to be the number one, you need third-party support. You need to have the best graphics. You need to decide, I want to play Black Ops on my Nintendo NX. That is not going to happen unless they do something drastic.
But I think if they do that too, they're going to go the way of like Sega Saturn and stuff like that. It's just not going to work.
So it depends really on their sort of what they want to do. So I'm happy with it being my second console. I love it. I think it's great. But it depends. If they want to be number one in the industry, they need third-party support. They need things like Assassin's Creed to look amazing and to work great, and Black Ops and things, and Fallout. Imagine Fallout on the Wii, on the NX. Like people would start buying it. But then, if they want to say that, oh, let's leave it as our second console, and we're happy with people to buy a PS4 or Xbox One and have a Nintendo on the side, like they did with the Wii, then they can have those steady stream of exclusive games, and they'll be happy days, and they'll make money from it. But don't know. Depends what they want, really.
True. Nintendo has never been as I don't know the specs of the NES or the Famicom or the Super NES or the Super Famicom. I don't know how they compared to other things that were around at the time, like the Genesis or whatever. But they might not have been the most powerful, but they had the most fun. Like I had a Sega Genesis first, then I got a Super Nintendo and realized, holy crap, these games are way better than what Sega's putting out. That's why Sega lost. Sega is gone now because they completely overreacted to every decision they ever made. They put out that Sega Saturn, they put out Sega, and then they overreacted to the backlash against that. So they're like, oh, we're just going to throw everything into a new console called the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't support it. Now, the Dreamcast at the time was kind of a technical marvel. You could do online gaming if it wasn't such a nebulous death trap, but
yeah, the Dreamcast was too ahead of its time.
Exactly. Definitely. Now, I like the fact that Nintendo made so much money on the Wii, so they could do things like the 3DS and the Wii U. They're gonna make a move. Do I think they're gonna conquer the industry again? Probably not. But
they don't need to, though.
That's the thing.
They're like Disney doesn't need to own Hollywood.
They do.
They do, yeah.
Nintendo does not need to own video games.
Matt, you were talking about SNES and NES. They had third-party support back then.
Because there was nothing else.
That's what they need to do. They need to get third-party support. They need to. Or it's always gonna be the second console, which I don't think it's gonna sell because casual gamers they are getting their fix on the mobile.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Unless they're gonna dominate or not.
Let me tell you this. Eventually, we are building to that one box future where eventually you will be able to play. You will eventually be able to play your Xbox, your PlayStation games on the same thing because they're basically low-end PCs right now. Let's say Steam machines take off and then all of a sudden nobody needs to own an Xbox or a PS4. At least Sony has the mind to sort of future-proof themselves by buying studios and keeping IP for themselves, just like Nintendo did in the 80s. There's going to be a time where there's just one thing that houses everything else and Nintendo. Because Nintendo is the Disney of this industry. They have the Mickey Mouse, they have the Donald Duck, they have the Goofy, but instead they have Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Samus. They have that.
Their characters are losing their luster because Metroid's nowhere to be found. Samus isn't in anything. The only thing they have is their Smash mashup. And, Mario's their saving grace, but who else is out there? They're not releasing Link. They're not releasing Samus. They're doing Kirby and Donkey Kong and Yoshi. Star Fox is going to bomb. I mean...
They're going to release a Link game
on the next system when it may be too late. And, going back, I think
we don't know that, Antonio. Don't say that.
We geeked out on E3 because it was chock full of amazing games. We're going to get some
That Zelda game was crap, though.
I'm talking about the other games.
Don't bring up Link if you're going to talk about E3. That Triforce crap. It's terrible.
No, not that. I'm not talking about Nintendo's E3. I'm talking about everyone else's games. We came away saying we are overwhelmed with the number of options available to play what seem like amazing, great games. And the strategy of PlayStation 4 and Xbox is let's give people more choices. The indie games themselves on PlayStation Plus are an incredible selling point because it's more games, more options. Hey, here, you might like this, and they're, it's decent quality of everything that's coming out, plus all of E3's masterpieces. So Nintendo not taking any third party is going to be a huge mistake, and they have all of this that we're looking forward to, and they have no piece of that pie. So the recipe is for disaster because if you go with a high-end 1080p system to accommodate for those, third party, again, you're still in this weird place where your bread and butter of your characters don't even really require that. So you made this big investment to compete with the big boys on one end, and they're probably going to lose out. I mean, if Nintendo is the third option for a 1080p, system, who's going to choose that one when you have all these other, like you said, like studios locked up? Like, people want to play the other games more, period. So they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. Either way they go, I don't see any like ray of sunshine for them out there.
Video games have been around for close to 50 years now. The longest lasting entities in that 50 years are Nintendo IP.
Yeah, because they were geniuses at the time to make the games they did. And they still are. The characters are still good.
I was the first person to naysay on 3D World because it looked like a cutesy pile of trash. Then I played it and said, oh my god, this is really fun.
How about Super Mario Galaxy, too? That was a great
awesome.
game.
Those games are great. All the new Mario
games.
See,
they need to keep that, though. It can't change.
Give it to me on my Xbox, please.
Matt, you said Nintendo is the Disney World, whatever, of video games. That's not true.
Not at all.
When was the last time Disney ever made a movie about Mickey, Goofy, Donald?
Well, they still come out with good characters all the time.
New good characters.
Yeah, they don't need to, though.
That's the thing. Nintendo is coming to a point where we are getting sick of Mario. We are getting sick of Mario, of Luigi.
Technically, they've never made a...
How much can it stretch?
I don't think Disney has actually ever made a full movie with Mickey in it.
Yeah.
Where Mickey was at the central...
They have like cartoons.
Central character.
They're kind of with Fantasia, I suppose, but yeah, they have
that's just one vignette. There's more to Fantasia than the Mickey
There's
song.
the Goofy movie, whatever. There's
But
like
they use
3
him as
Goofy
the sort of
movies.
But again, they've done one with Donald. I know they did 3 Caballeros with Donald, and they did the Goofy movie, with
which
Goofy,
was awesome. The first one
that was great. Yeah.
There were shows about. There was thousands of episodes of Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Donald. Maybe they didn't made movies or whatever.
Those were shorts,
but
they
they
were short
stopped.
films,
They stopped. They adapt and they bring new characters. Frozen, and there's this new show, whatever. It's very famous right now, again by Disney, because they keep changing it. They keep bringing interesting characters. Nintendo.
Frozen sucked. I'm gonna say it right now. That movie sucked.
You just pissed off our 10-year-old fan base.
You hate Frozen more and more every week.
Let it go, Matt. Let it go.
Sucked or it didn't. It's sold. It's sold.
It's sucked. Yeah, because people are stupid. That movie's awful.
All right,
The
people
songs
are
terrible,
stupid,
the
whatever,
characters are
I'm
trash.
with you. But we are saying about selling. They are not selling as well as they did. They have to keep making new interesting characters if they want to be the Disney of the video games.
And
People
let's
trying to
say, okay, then technically my hypothesis still holds true, because if they are able to do that 10 times a year with the NX...
If they do that, I'm with you.
Okay, that's all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Now, granted, since we're talking about this, we know damn well they're not going to do it.
Okay, that's why they're gonna fail.
This is complete speculation. There is like not really any real basis to.
The minute, I think it was either Antonio or Imran that was saying, yeah, they should just do something that competes with Sony and is better than the PS4 and better than the Xbox One with 1080p, 60
I think
frames
they
per second.
die if they do.
It'll
that.
never happen.
The minute you say that, it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah,
like
it doesn't sound right.
At that
it's
point,
like you're,
there's no
it's like
point.
it's like you're just after lunch on a Friday. You're saying, man, I hope the next 3 hours of this workday just sails by so I can get to the weekend. The minute you think that thought, your Friday just got screwed.
Yep.
So just because we talked about that, Nintendo is not going to do it. Iwata's listening somewhere. He's going to be like, well, guess what? Not doing that, guys.
Hey, Satoru.
I'm going to be a weird Nintendo CEO. Ha ha ha. Reggie, are you still doing push-ups? And then he's like,
All right.
and
So
then-
that's it. That's it.
and then
Next.
Miyamoto comes out of a pipe and goes, hey, I dropped acid. I'm going to do another Pikmin game. And then we're off.
And then they turn to puppets.
Yep. God, that E3 intro was awesome. I'm still going to say it.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been episode 6 of the Platinum Achievement Podcast. I think I may have said 5 earlier. I may have edited out. I'm not sure. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you want to follow us on Facebook, just search the Platinum Achievement Podcast. Same goes for searching for us on iTunes, as well as subscribing on YouTube. So a lot of people are actually still listening there. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to give us a shout out, go ahead and message us. We'd gladly read your messages and fan mail on the air. I want to thank every one of my co-hosts for being so awesome. We take a lot of time and effort to put into this, and again, it's all for you guys. So community created podcast, thank you for listening. This is the Platinum Achievement Podcast. Signing off once again. Go ahead, Matt.
Banana and out.
All right,
I do want before we do that. This is episode 6, by the way, just so you know.
is it 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let me redo the intro then, I guess.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'll fix
No,
it
no.
later.
Just
I know how to fix it later.
Just leave this in. Just leave it in. It's fine. It's fine. Warts and all. Warts and all. Let's do this.